Hey everybody, this week I have a shorter video. It's probably the first week as well. I'm going to switch these videos from being the game development videos to now it's going to be focusing on the Delsec development. So these are more like dev blogs now, I guess, than focusing on game development elements. The videos, the other videos I had were kind of hybrid anyway. There were some talking about some game development concepts and then talking a bit about this game that I'm developing. So now from these videos onward, it's just going to be about Delsec, and then if there are game development concepts, I'll try and make a specific video for that concept. So yeah, that's these videos for going forward. So this week I've had a few things I've added to the game, which I'll go into now. The first thing I want to show is the Skybox. So I removed all the other Skyboxes, and this is now currently the only one that's in the game. So this was one of the, from the last video you saw some of the ones I demoed. They were AI generated, which is really cool. I linked all that details in the description. So with those, I started to go through the ones I really want to add to the game and edit them to have the theme of the game. So like this one, I cleaned up the skybox a little bit, added stars, the star field, made those lines. So from the last video there were like these long lines, so cleaned that up a bit and gave it a light and color correction. So the color also is a bit in the blue, like made more blues, and that's the same with the lighting effects in the game as well, if you notice, to make it feel like it's nighttime or night light. So it's got this blue hint of blue into it. So same with the skybox there. So that was the first thing that I worked on this week, and it took many attempts because when I edited it, I had lines at the edges that I didn't fix properly, so a few attempts with that. So the other thing as well was the introduction of mods into the game. So as you saw the last videos, I was just using a console command to say slow down time or toggle the light. So now what actually those things are player mods. So if we say, and it's still a console command, but it's to set the actual mod slot in the player. So if we type, say, player set head dot slow time, now in our head slot we've got the slow time mod, so the player will start with no mods on. So now if we press the mod head slot button, we can just toggle it on the fly with that button. Or if we say player set head dot very slow time, and we get a cooler effect with these, like, so just by pressing that. And then the same with, so at the moment it's only those ones, and player set eyes dot light. Now we can press just the light toggle for now, or if we want to remove it all, and this is, all these console commands would be for development only. And then if we press, okay, never mind, I was gonna say, I didn't actually test that, but if we didn't have any mod slots active when we press these buttons, it should have not activated anything because we got nothing equipped. I think I just forgot to, oh that's right, I wrote the console command, I didn't put any lines of code in it, so all I have to do is add lines of code to set all mod slots to none. So that's the two main things that have been added this week. The last thing, I'll split this video here, and demo, because that's a UI thing. So I'll go into that now. So the other things that I worked on this week was this Keybinds UI. So as you see here, I've added a bunch of new keys. So one's for the quick slots, reload, which is going to be needed, for just fire and out fire, which is use the mouse so it's not bindable, the usual move ones, the quests and skills tabs, inventory was there, and yeah, mod slots. So these are all bindable. So like in that last section we saw, I was pressing say mod slot head and that toggled the time slow effect. But yeah, you can bind that to whatever you want. These are the default key bindings, and then I'm not preventing if it's a duplicate. So with Battlecore I prevented duplicate keybinds, but for here, for now, I'm not preventing it. I'm just showing these alerts that it's duplicate. But I know, like, I'm trying to figure it out, because I know if the player sets all to 1, and it could be a thing to allow the player to have all the keybinds as one key, but yeah, we'll see how it goes anyway. But yeah, for now it just allows it and it shows an alert. The other thing, you can reset the default as well now. Click that and it just sets them all back to default. So yeah, and added this scroll functionality here too, and that the hide and show of that text and buttons there. So then yeah, that's this section here. So this took a little bit to set up, but yeah, now it's a lot nicer. Settings, I don't think I've changed anything. So yeah, that's the other thing. And the last thing was, so the music I was using in the game, I did more research, and unfortunately the song I wanted to use in the main menu, it was copyright, so I had to change that. So now I've got these ones I bought. So these music, I've got a heap of different music, even from the creating Battlecore and Lords of Delusia. I've got all the royalty-free music I bought. So it's just going through that at the moment and finding ones that suit the theme. But yeah, for now it's just 2 songs. This song, which is the main menu, I don't know if I'm going to keep it anyway, but it's just there for now as a template. It will be in the game, this song, but it's probably more of a like tension event kind of song. So yeah, for now anyway, the music's just this song and one of the ones that you'll hear in the level. But yeah, that'll be some time anyway, because I really want to, if I can as well, look for a music composer and talk to them about having music made specifically for the game, but I know it'll cost more. Or if I can find more royalty-free music that will suit the theme of the game, we'll see anyway. So that's what I've got to show for this week. The last bit I'll talk about the game itself and the concept of the game and everything I'm going to go for. So I'll go into that now. So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is what Delsec is, what I'm trying to achieve with this game and what I'm going for. So I don't know if you've already noticed, but it's heavily inspired by Deus Ex, but also other games like Max Payne and even a hacker game called Uplink. So concepts from those games are going to be in this as well. So like, it's going to be about, if you ever as well played the game I made ages ago, it was a web incremental or even clicker game. It was called Delsec as well, and that had the storyline of 5 companies. So it's set in the future and governments are gone and companies have taken over in terms of control of the world, so to speak. And in the game, there's 5 companies, and they all have different ideologies. And as a player, you'll start as an agent for Delsec, and they'll kind of show their ideologies to you and kind of make it out that they're, you know, the good guys of the game. And as you play more and more, you'll see that maybe those ideologies do have some downsides, and maybe some of the other companies that initially could be portrayed as enemies or neutrals, they may have an ideology that the player feels is more in line to what they want to play this game as. So what they can do is, over time, they may meet characters through the game who are from these different companies and gain a reputation with the other companies. And depending on what company you have the highest reputation with, or what, I guess, by the end your alignment is with, that's the ending you'll get. So like, you may decide that Delsec's ending is the one you want. So you just follow through the Delsec missions, you don't question the things around you going on in the game, and you just play through and beat the game doing Delsec missions and following the Delsec story. So you get the Delsec ending, and yeah, like that would be one of 5 or maybe even more endings that you could get in the game. Or you may, through your gameplay, meet some homeless characters who work for a different company, like Chimera Holding or something, and they may have the ideology that you may feel is more good, let's say. So you go through and you start doing missions or quests for these other people, and then eventually you get the Chimera ending. So things like that, which bring up player choice and multiple endings. But the concept behind it is to present these different ideologies in the game and show that there may be some good things to all 5 ideologies. They may have some good stuff, but there's no perfect solution. So even if, like with Delsec, you may be presented that they're the good guys, but with investigation you'll see that certain things that Delsec do, it can't be seen as ideal. It's not the perfect solution. So every ending you get is more like a bittersweet ending. It's, this is good, but these are the downsides. So that was kind of the concept overall of the story for this game. But in terms of the gameplay itself, is you'll mainly be in a lot of different locations. So your starting locations will be in these dingy cities, like a lot of rundown, homeless, industrial areas close to the city. And so you'll start in places like this, like where we'll have things like the rats roaming around. There'll be barrels of fire. I don't know where the rat's gone, he's walked off here. So obviously why I've added a rat model as the first model. So it's the style of this game is cyberpunk, but it will be presented as this really run-down landscape. So that's in the starting areas, and then you'll get to, say, the upper class Delsec areas, which are these big business, more cyberpunk, really lit up and looking clean cityscapes. So things like that. And then you'll have one in say an underground lab in Antarctica, or underwater lab. Then like even in the mountains in the Alps, if you're going to be doing griffin stuff, or other ones, one in space. Some of the other levels I still have to think, but they're the main so main areas that you may be exploring. And as you're exploring the cities, so they'll be set in a way that it's open world but not massive levels. So you'll have, say, a level like this. You'll be walking through the streets, and you could enter some buildings, and then there'll probably be a loading splash breaking up that level with the building itself. And I want to have it so that there are many buildings to explore, and like one level will feel massive. And so as you're exploring, I want to encourage that. So there'll be like hidden things to find, there'll be experience. So like how Deus Ex had it, it rewarded your exploration, and you found maybe some better guns, or you found an ATM to hack or something, or different characters. But then that will become up to the player whether they want to play this game in the linear fashion of just doing the Delsec mission, say meeting a contact or killing this person, and then going back to Delsec HQ and getting your pay. So in that sense, you could play it in this linear fashion without questioning your surroundings, or you could, say, explore the level, go into some buildings, meet a different character. That character may have an ideology or a conspiracy they want you to investigate, or something like that. And then from doing that, you gain reputation, and you start learning the intricacies of the game story, and you're exposed to other elements. So as well, there'll be things like lockpicking. So with the mod slots, if you saw, there was mod slots for the head, the eyes, skin, arms, hands, chest, legs and feet. So let's say we have lockpicking skills in the game. You could have a mod for your hands that will improve your lockpicking ability for the duration that mod is on. Or you may say for your feet, you may have silent walking or silent sneaking or something, or harder to detect if you have it on your skin, or armor for your skin as well. So things like this can be used to enhance those gameplay elements like lockpicking, or even stealth, or if you want to take it on a guns blazing approach. But with this game, I want it to feel really like you get to choose how you play the game. And I know a lot of games say that a lot, but this game is going to be a slow development. There's no rush to get this game out, because I'm doing it in my spare time after work. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time trying to perfect the concepts that I want from this game. But so like maybe you'll explore the level, sneaking around, trying to find hidden packages or whatever it is that's in the level, or meeting all the different characters, or even trying to complete all the quests in the level. But it'll be this really large playground that you can explore or play in the way you want. So as this game progresses, there'll be things that I'll add that will hopefully improve on that concept of player freedom. So like, I want it, maybe every character you meet could be killable. I know a lot of games have, say, if they're vital characters, they're not killable, but it may be I have it this way where this character could give you a quest line that would start, say, the ViperSec quest lines, or you may just shoot them at the first level and then you'll never see the ViperSec quest line. So it's things like that it will take away from the linear, this is how you play the game. It'll be, hopefully what I want to achieve is you play it however you want. And then with the 5 different companies and their ideologies and all the, even the miscellaneous characters you meet that may just have, you know, do this quest, I'll give you 800 credits or something, you know, so it'll be however you want to explore the game. And then depending on that, you'll get the endings that lead to. So maybe there could even be some really bad ending that you didn't follow any of the companies, and then I don't know, the world ends or something. I don't so yeah, like there's a lot of possibilities that this game could have. But yeah, the main aspects are those 5 companies and 1 ending for each. So other than that, like, so yeah, there'll be lockpicking, there'll be hacking, which will be a more fleshed out version of hacking compared to, let's say, how Deus Ex had the hacking. You just use the icebreaker or whatever it was to hack the ATM. But in this, I want to have a more fleshed out hacking system. So like there may be like hundreds of bank accounts that you could hack and find, you know, maybe 200, 300 credits. But say those bank accounts, you may not even need to hack. You could find, like, you break into a building and you find some notepad laying around that's got some account details on it. So through that you're rewarded with the exploration. So from exploring these places that you may not go because of the missions that you're on or the quests you're on, just by exploring you find these extra details that you then put into an ATM. Well, and the banks will all be owned by Griffin as well, which is one of the companies as well. So like, yeah, you put those details in the bank, and then you can just withdraw some money from that. So, you know, that can be some other stuff. Or yeah, you hack into some logins to get some emails, like pretty much like how Deus Ex was. And I know a lot of the concepts are really similar to Deus Ex, but I really want to make sure that I'm adding a lot more on top of these concepts, because I know it'll just be pretty much if I just add these same concepts that Deus Ex has, it'll just be like, oh, you're pretty much trying to just be like Deus Ex, which is not what I want. Like, I want to have the concepts that I really liked in Deus Ex and really beef them up quite a bit. So like, yeah, you look at the mod slots, you've got the similar mod slots, but then there can be a lot more features added to those mod slots. Even like the hacking, there can be a lot more fleshed out things and more game development concepts added to that feature, or the sneaking, and I know there'll probably be things in the game that are done not as well. Like, I already know the NPCs, because there won't be 3D models, they won't have the 3D model animations. Now they're going to be these 2D models. So that's one thing that stylistically I didn't want to have, but it's going to be in the game, and it may still look alright and suit the game. But yeah, like that, say that will be one style element that's different. And yeah, like, I think the more I work on this game, the more concepts I'll think of that I can add. But I know of falling into that trap of always wanting to add more and more to your game, and it could end in like a never-ending development cycle. But and that's what happened with Lords of Delusia. But with Lords of Delusia, I stopped because I just wasn't happy with it in the end. Whereas this game, I have a clear vision of what I want to achieve. So that story with the 5 companies, the game gameplay concepts that exist in other games like Deus Ex, Max Payne and Uplink, and bring them all into this one game and add more on top of that. So with those basic concepts, I think I have a clear end goal, especially the story. I know the grand story. I just don't have the details of those stories yet, of how I'm going to achieve that grand story. But yeah, like, I think that's everything I want to talk about with the game. Oh yeah, so like inventory, that's another thing. You'll have guns, different type of guns, maybe melee weapons. You'll have a heap of different guns. You'll have a lot of the weapons that are introduced in Battle Court. So, and that's even these 5 companies style is influenced in Battle Court as well, because in Battle Court we have Cobalt weaponry, which is the weaponry of Delsec, and that concept was introduced in Lords of Delusia. You'll have these Cobalt based weapons. You'll have, say, hydrogen Viperine or Viperium, so weapons that ViperSec or Viper Holdings haven't figured the final name of them yet, but the weapons from that company, or Griffin, which is the rail guns and the missiles, but they're more of a neutral company in this game anyway, so maybe they won't have as many specific weapon styles. And then you'll have like copper and cupronickel weapons and energy weapons and Rheinald weapons, flame weapons, things like that. So like all these different weapons, and then I think most probably I will add the modifier system that I added for Battle Court as well, where each weapon can have unique modifiers, but I don't know how well that stylistically will fit in this game. But it may be introduced as a concept, because like, say, let's take Deus Ex, that you could add, say, silencer modifiers to the weapon, or a laser sight or something. So that's one thing that won't be in this game, but a system to replace that could be this RNG focused or even customizable prefix and suffix modifier system that Battle Court has. But yeah, like that I'll still need to think about, because that works well in a looter shooter type game, say like Borderlands or something like that. It may not work well here, so it may be that same concept but stripped down quite a bit, because I do want to have customization on the guns. It's just not going to be like how Deus Ex handles it. But yeah, and then as well, there can be a high amount of guns in this game too, because I've already introduced that concept in Battle Court. I already know how I would develop that. So in the world as well, there can be so many different gun types, and then now also in this game having melee weapons. So yeah, that's the gun system. And inventory as well, you'll have a sort of space management kind of inventory, but each slot may occupy, so each inventory item, like a weapon or a I don't know what else, a book or something, may occupy only one inventory slot. So, and that's, yeah, taking in this game will have RPG elements as well. So like, yeah, that you'll have leveling up as well, so improving your skills in certain areas. So think, yeah, how Deus Ex handled it, with you improve your say pistol skill, so something like that, but more in line with a proper RPG leveling system, I'll be implementing for this. So there may be skills for like improving specific gun types, handling, or hacking as well. But then some skills that will do certain things for hacking. So like, let's say you want to level hacking, you may get an additional 10% credits found in all hacking attempts or something like that. So there's a lot of concepts that can be added to that system. So yeah, all that will be added to your skills. And then quests as well. You'll get a heap of different quests, some for certain companies, and then completing those quests will give you a reputation gain for those companies. So there will be also a reputation style system in this game. So like, you'll start obviously with good reputation with Delsec, neutral with some of the others, and bad with say ViperSec. And then that reputation will change based on how you play the game. So that's another concept that's going to be included in the game. And other than that, I think that's everything for now that I know I'm going to be adding for this game. But over time, more things may be added. So the feel of this game is overall going to be this RPG, immersive sim, similar to Deus Ex, with a lot of concepts from that game, Max Payne and Uplink, and heavy RPG elements with this cyberpunk gritty style. So that's the overall concept. I know I went on about all this for a long time, but I wanted to explain this in one video as what I'm trying to achieve, because I know I did that for the Lords of Delusia, the first video, so I'll do the same for this one. But this one, I know now I've got better coding practices. There's a lot of things in now what I'm developing that I'm happier with, so I'm hopefully less likely to come back and look at this game and be unhappy with what I developed, compared like with what I did with Lords of Delusia. I went back, there was so many coding things that I was unhappy with when I came back to it, that I thought I can't just overhaul it. I have to pretty much start that game again from scratch. So I don't think that will be happening with this game anymore, at all. So that's this game. This is what I'm trying to achieve. Hopefully it'll be in line with that final vision, and the game will be a fun game to play and explore, and the story I want really to be compelling. And because I'm like, say, Battle Court, I'm proud of Battle Court, even though it was a small scope game. Like, I'm proud that I made it. I'm proud that it got released, and that some people did enjoy it. But like, in terms of the game itself, I know I really wanted to do more with it. I wanted it to be a larger scale game. So that's with this game. I really want to make something that I'm truly proud of and can be a compelling story and an art piece on its own, and that can be like my legacy to game development. So I can say I really tried with game development and really made something that I'm really happy with. So that's kind of the goal here with Delsec. So one day, if I ever say Delsec is complete, then I'll say there's something for my whole life I'm proud of creating. So that's the goals behind Delsec, and hopefully when we reach the end, it'll be there for us all to enjoy. That's it for the concept of Delsec. I guess I'll just go into the outro now. Thanks. So yeah, if you made it to here, thanks for watching. I thought this video was going to be short, but I really rambled on about what I'm trying to go for with Delsec. So next video will probably be shorter because I'll only be demoing the stuff I developed and won't really be going into code. And even if I do go into code, it'll be in a separate video. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching if you managed to watch the entire thing, or yeah, if you checked out just the gameplay and then came to the outro, thanks even for watching that. But yeah, next video will be shorter, I hope. So yeah, thanks everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you hopefully in the next video.